Welcome back, dear students. So we are going to continue with question number 5 of the same paper, IGCSE 062042, okay, of May June 2022. So I'm directly jumping to question number 5. We solved the previous questions, okay. So if you want to see all those questions, so you have to check all the previous videos related to this question paper. Now this is question number 5 of the same paper, and in this it says that the reaction scheme shows 5 organic reaction numbered 1 to 5. So I'm quickly giving you the idea, then we proceed with the question demands, question required. Then you can see that this is sugars, but we can say this is C6H12O6, the simplest sugar, and we can say glucose as well. So from glucose we are getting ethanol, so this is called as fermentation. Okay, so through fermentation we can get ethanol from the sugar. Then from alkene, you can see this is ene. From ethene we are getting ethanol, so we can say this is ethene. This is ethene. And how we can convert the ethene into ethanol? This is called as hydration. This is called as hydration, addition reaction of alkenes. Then from A we are getting B, so this is ethene, so definitely we are going to get ethane. But how? Remember, by hydrogenation. We need some catalyst and reaction condition as well. Then in reaction 2 you can see from ethanol we are getting carbon dioxide and water, so actually this is combustion. This is what? Combustion. When we combust ethanol in presence of the oxygen, we can get carbon dioxide, water and heat. Then from ethanol, by the reaction 5, this route, we are getting compound C. So there are multiple ways, or so we focus what are the instructions given by the examiner, then we can predict. Generally we can say ethanol can react with metals to produce compound C, or the alcohol, the ethanol, can be oxidized to produce compound C, which could be carboxylic acid, but I can't say anything until I saw the full instructions given by the examiner. So this was the brief introduction or the description of this reaction scheme. Now we proceed towards the question and we try to answer whatever is demanded by the examiner. Now in A, he says that name reaction 1, and I think I explained from sugar to get ethanol, this is fermentation. This is what? Fermentation. Fermentation, you may have to recall the conditions and the reagents and the products. Okay, so reagent is glucose, aqueous glucose or glucose solution. The conditions are the yeast, the absence of oxygen, and temperature of 30, maximum 37, from 25 to 37 degrees Celsius. Then in B part he says name reaction 2, and I already mentioned this reaction 2 was combustion, so we can say this is combustion. And when we combust, we know the reactant, which is ethanol, and we are going to write the equation. Okay, so equation should be C2H5OH. This is ethanol. It is going to be combust. We need oxygen, and then when it is combusted, it will give us carbon dioxide and water. To make it balance, we have 2 carbon over here, so we are going to place 2 carbon with the carbon dioxide, 2 that we give us 2 carbon. Now to make hydrogen balance, we have 5 plus 1, 6 hydrogens in the reactants. To make it balance, we have to place 3 with the water. That gives us 6 hydrogens. Now only oxygen is need to be balanced. So in the react product we have 3 plus 4, 7 oxygens. So in this way I'm going to place 3 with this, so it will give 6 oxygen. 1 is present in ethanol, so total 7 oxygens. Now the reaction is balanced. Proceeding. In C, it says reaction 3 forms ethanol from alkene A, and I clearly explained that ethanol has 2 carbon atoms, so definitely the alkene must have 2 carbon atoms. So 2 carbon containing alkene is ethene. The compound is ethene. Then state the type of the reaction that occurs during reaction 3. I said this is hydration. This is hydration. Okay, or even you can say addition of alkene, or adding water or steam to alkene, but more perfect you can say hydration. In third, state the reagent and condition needed for reaction 3. As I said, we need state the reagents, so we can say steam plus ethene, or even you can say ethene plus steam. Instead of steam you can write water as well. The conditions are we can say 300 degrees Celsius temperature, then 200 atmospheric pressure, plus we need H3PO4 which act as a catalyst, So these are the reagents and these are the conditions. Next, in D, alkene A is converted into alkane B. I clearly mentioned how alkene E, which was ethene, can be converted into alkane, which was ethane. So we say state the reagent and conditions. So the reagent was ethene and hydrogen, and the condition was nickel. We are using nickel as a catalyst, and we were using 140 degrees Celsius temperature. Recall, and if you don't remember, then please add this to your exam notes and then try to recall plus memorize. Step in D2, state the general formula of alkanes. It is clearly mentioned alkanes, so it should be CnH2n plus 2. Okay, if it is alkane, then we can say CnH2n. If it is alcohol or alkanol, we can say CnH2n plus 2O. For carboxylic acid, CnH2n plus CnH2nO2. But remember, whatever the demand, try to answer accordingly. In E, ethanol is oxidized in reaction 5 by heating it with dilute sulfuric acid. So it is oxidation, is clearly mentioned. Okay, and one other reagent. So other reagent should be oxidizing agent. Identify the other reagent. We can use, or we can say, aqueous acidified potassium dichromate. Okay, then name the homologous series compound C belongs to. Whenever ethanol oxidized, it will convert it into the carboxylic acid. So the homologous series should be carboxylic acid. And what type of the acid form? As how many carbon atoms are in ethanol, that type of the respective acid will we get. What it is? It will be ethanoic acid. So he says draw the structure of compound C, so it could be ethanoic acid, and he clearly instructed show all the atoms and the bonds. So he demanding about the displayed formula of ethanoic acid, and I clearly mentioned whenever you are going to draw the any carboxylic acid, start with oic acid. Okay, so this should be C double bond O bond OH. This is the displayed formula of oic acid. Then we need at mean carbon, 2 carbon atoms, so I'm going to draw second carbon atom over here, and then in mean carbon to carbon single bond, then complete all the other bonds which are left over. And remember, carbon can make 4 bonds, so 4 bonds of this carbon atoms are already complete. Now to complete the 4 bonds of this, we need hydrogen. Okay, so now this is the displayed formula of ethanoic acid, in which we showed every and each bond. Says show all the atoms and all the bonds. So this is the ethanoic acid. So question 5 is complete over here. Now we are continuing, and this will be in your next video. Stay connected.